Okay, we're rolling.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Great to be with you. Thank you for pressing play. I'm glad that we have time together, and I hope your podcast journey is going well. Wherever you are in your journey, I hope it's going well and that you know that you have a resource. I'd love to talk to you. I love creating this show. I love creating this podcast, but I love even more spending time with podcasters and doing things together one-on-one. So if you have any needs around your show and you're like, I don't know if Dave has time for me. He's doing an episode every day. Like, how's this guy even doing this? I love spending time with you. On my website, howtopodcast.ca is my calendar. If I did not want to spend time with you, I would take my calendar link off my website. It's there all the time. 30 minutes, you and I, anytime. And as often as you want to. Use it there. It's right there for you. I love spending time with people like you and helping you on your journey. So if I can be a resource for you, great. If you tried other people, other gurus, and you weren't satisfied, then maybe you and I would be really good together. So let me know. One thing I wanted to talk about today is this is episode 600 of the How to Podcast series. And I want to ask a question of you as a podcaster. Do you think your audience really cares what episode number this is? Like, is this more about our own gratification and acknowledgement of reaching a milestone episode? Do you think your audience really cares? Does it matter to them? Like, do you just get on and do an episode about you as the host and your journey and all that? Is it valuable to your audience to do an episode like this, episode 600? Something to talk about, something to think about. I'm glad you're here. There we go. Here's the balance, I think, as podcasters that we need to consider. In every episode that we do, whether it's episode 600 or episode 2, we need to show up and bring value to our audience. If our audience does not walk away with value in an interview, in a solo episode, in a story, in your content, if the audience does not walk away changed, different, encouraged, happier, edified, built up, right? Like, if your audience does not leave different from how they came to your episode, then my question to you is, did the content serve its purpose? A episode like episode 600 or 500 or 1,000 or episode 100, whatever it is, episode 5, doesn't matter. But when you hit a milestone episode, you coming on the mic and just celebrating you is fine. And I encourage you to do that. If that's what you want to do for your milestone episodes, then again, it's your show. No rules, right? No rules. You're Dave. No rules. But I think even if you're going to do like a reflective episode where you go back and you talk about your journey and all of that, that you still have value for your audience as well. And the value could simply be that you are demonstrating your growth and encouraging people to grow as well. That could be simply all it is just you're just saying, this is how I started, this is where I am now, here's my journey, I'll show you all of the things that I've done, good or bad, over the years, and I want to encourage you that you can do the same, right? That could be a great bridge building experience. A great example of this is Demetra Zinga, and she has her podcast, Soul Podcasting. And she did one of these milestone episodes, but she took you back in time. And like, she's been in podcasting forever. And I love listening to her show. I listen to every episode. And for Soul Podcasting, she took you back. And she took you through all of the different shows, what worked, what didn't work, how it changed, and how she adjusted, how she pivoted. But she walked you through. And she was very real, open, and honest. And that's what you get from her on Soul Podcasting. You get a real, honest person sharing their journey. And she does truly care about her audience. I know I feel welcomed every episode. So that's a great podcast. Listen, link in the show notes. Go and follow her. I don't mind losing anybody to her show because she's just that great. So I'm totally fine with that. If you fall in love with her and you leave me, I will be sad. I will hug my pillow. I'll probably shed a tear. But I know you're going to a great podcast and a great person. So Demetria Zinga, definitely one of my top podcasts about podcasting that I love to listen to. It's her heart. It's her love for her community. I could go on and on. I could make this whole episode about her. But she does a great example, and I'll put a link to the episode where she shares her journey. And what I love about that episode is not just self-reflective and her talking about herself and look at me, pat me on the back. I'm so good. Look at me. I did this. I did that. I did this. Buy my course. That's where you get from a lot of podcast gurus. Demetria gives you value as a listener, and she encourages you. So for episode 600, I want to give you value. And if anything, if the only value you get from this is the fact, and I say only, but if the value that you get from this is that you now have a new podcast to listen to with Demetria at Soul Podcasting, then great. Awesome. Done. Tick the box. Dave's given you value. Awesome. I'm going to give you value from the How to Podcast series as well, but I think that in everything we do, when you celebrate a milestone episode, make sure your audience walks away with something of value, not just an episode of you talking about yourself and building yourself up and making it all about you. I think we need to be careful in podcasting that we don't become so inwardly focused that the audience is irrelevant. We just love the sound of our own voice. We love telling our stories and repeating the same story we've told 100 times. And we just become this one-trick pony. I think as podcasters, we need to be focused on the listener in every single aspect of our podcast. So bring value. Again, go check out Demetria's podcast. So podcasting, it's amazing. Here's my caution as podcasters, and here's my value add for episode 600. Again, thank you for being here. If you've been here for 600 plus episodes, because remember, there's unnumbered episodes, which are Daily Daves, and this whole year is a Daily Dave, basically. But in the past few years, what I do is a numbered episode and a Daily Dave. And the Daily Daves are simply me coming to the mic with something short, to the point, post it, get it out there, and I can be more reactive. I don't have to wait for the numbered episode to talk about something. So if something happens in podcasting right now, this moment, I could just jump on to a 5-minute episode, get it out there, and that's my Daily Dave. That's the reason. It gives me flexibility. Those are in your podcast hosting site. Those are called bonus episodes. They're not numbered. They don't have a number attached to them. When you release a regular episode, a full episode, some podcast hosts will call it, that is a numbered episode. And you'll put a spot where you can put a season number. If you do seasons, I don't. But you can do season number and episode number. And that just helps you numerically to know where you're at. So this show has numbered episodes and unnumbered episodes. So I'm way over 600, actually. But numbered episodes, this is episode 600. So, So that's a little behind the scenes. When you create your podcast, be careful to not be too inwardly focused. I've noticed, and I don't know if it's a personality type, I don't know if it's a preference by certain podcasters, but they become they go from being self-reflective to be self-focused. And the audience is somebody they perform to, they perform at, but they don't interact with. So it feels like on some podcasts, especially podcasts about podcasting, that people start to believe their own beliefs about themselves to the point where they just get very braggy and they become inwardly focused. A lot of navel gazing, I like to call it, where they've forgotten about their audience and bringing value, and they just want to talk about how great they are. And it comes back to, awards. It comes back to notoriety. It comes back to how many things they've done in podcasting or through their content, which is great. They're speaking now. They have a course. They have a thing. They have an award. They're in the Hall of Fame. Those are all good things. They're not terrible. But when that is your identity and your audience is not your identity or your focus anymore, and it's all about your long list of achievements, I find that people use the mic more as a way to just brag about themselves to themselves. And as a listener, I feel like I don't know if I belong there. I feel like I walked in on you talking to the mirror, talking to yourself about how great you are. And I don't resonate with that as a listener because, again, I don't know what to do with this. I just heard you talk about yourself for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes and kind of ego stroked yourself, and it feels awkward. It feels really awkward to be here, and I feel like this is something that should have been unreleased. Maybe record it for yourself and listen back for yourself. But as a listener, I don't feel a connection with you in this moment. I feel like I'm actually in the way. Like, you need some alone time. If this is your approach when you just want to talk about yourself and all the great things you've done and why you're the best thing in the world and I'm the best podcaster, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know how I fit into this content. And I feel you've walked away from your audience in that moment. And you are more caught up with the mirror and looking at yourself and talking to yourself that by the time you wrap up your show, you haven't talked to an audience. You've only talked to yourself. So my caution to you is to listen back to your show and listen back, especially if you're a solo podcaster. Be careful with this. But I've also found it in interviews where you bring on a guest and you talk more than your guest does. Like, you share your stories and your guest is silently listening in the background. Like, almost to the point where the guest is like, why am I here? Like, this is a solo episode with a guest. I'm almost like an audience member instead of a guest. Like, you're going to talk about yourself, and as a guest, I'm going to listen to you talk about yourself. And that's not a conversation. That's a monologue. And your guest is on mute in the background. So think about that. And if that's what you've been sliding towards, it might be time to course correct. So my caution for you as a podcaster is when you do solo, when you have guests, and you feel like you're sliding towards it becoming more of a monologue, and you've disconnected from your audience, that you reconsider and refocus. How can I make this episode not just about me? Episode 600. Congratulations, Dave. Well done. Great. But what do I get out of this listening experience? That's the big thing. So do your bonus episodes, do your celebration episodes. That's great. You have worked hard as a podcaster. If you've gotten past 10 episodes, you've beaten the trend of most podcasters who give up too early, who lose passion for their show, and they just walk away. So if you got past episode 10, celebrate. You get to 50, you get to 25, you get to 100, you get to 600, you get to 1,000. Don't ignore this. I think it's important for you to celebrate. I think it's important for you to do a victory lap. I'm not downplaying that at all. I'm encouraging it. And your audience is like, wow, that's a lot of episodes. And when you look at the stats, you are beating so many episodes, so many different podcasts. So celebrate. Take your victory lap. Wave the flag. Do the thing. But don't just make it about you in that moment. Make it about your audience. Your audience deserves to walk away with value even while we celebrate with you for that victory. Please focus on your audience and making sure that they get something that they can take with them. So my hope for you listening to this is that you are reflective. You focus on not just yourself. Don't just focus on yourself looking in the mirror and creating content for yourself. Only be audience focused in everything you do. And if it doesn't bring value to your audience, then it might be time to rework the content, rework your approach, rework your focus, and make sure your audience leaves with value every time they touch play and push play on your episode. and come into your world, that they have a meaningful interaction with you, because that's what's going to bring them back to the next episode. So celebrate, but make sure there's value added in everything you do, and your audience will love you for it. I hope you find great value in this show, and also checking out Demetria Zinga's Soul Podcasting, because it is fabulous. Thank you for being here. Keep podcasting, keep doing what you do. Don't stop. And if you need help, reach out to me, reach out to Demetria. She'd love to help you too. Thanks for being part of the show. Thank you so much for listening to the entirety of the episode, including this part. You know what? A lot of people leave right now, so we'll let them leave. Give them a second to go. Okay, now it's just you and me. We have our meetups that we do for the How to Podcast series. We do them during the week, and we also do them on Saturdays. So twice a week, you have the opportunity to meet other podcasters, just like you. Some people have just started. Some people haven't even released an episode yet. Some have been doing it forever. And we get together and talk podcasting. We want to help you in community to continue with your show, to start your show, to grow your show. So come and meet listeners of this show in one space on meetup.com. Again, through howtopodcast.ca, you'll see the links. It's completely free to join. Come whenever you have an opportunity to come. There's no commitment. You don't have to sign any waivers. You can just come join us. Come join the conversation. We'd love to have you there, because the only thing that's going to make these meetups better is you being there. So I'm hoping you will say yes. And you'll say, Dave, I'm tired of podcasting by myself. I wish there were people I could connect with that are fellow podcasters and share my frustrations with guests who ghost me, and my editing software is crapping out on me, and I'm just having this hard time. I'm just having a hard time coming up with podcasts, episodes, and titles, and all the things, and social media. And wouldn't it be great to get in a room with other podcasters and share best practices and learn? 3 of our 4 Saturdays every month are themed. So you have a topic, but that last Saturday of every month, it's open question and answer. Ask anything. Come meet a podcaster. Come enjoy the podcasting community through howtopodcast.ca. Come to our meetups. Can't wait to see you there. You're still here. Thank you for being here for episode 600. I'm so grateful. I appreciate you. The one question that came in is, Dave, what is the benefit to being a consistent podcaster in that I'm releasing a regular episode in a predictable fashion? What's the benefit to me as a podcaster? There's benefits to your listener as far as being part of their routine and them creating a habit around your show. That's understood. But what's the benefit to me as a podcaster by having a consistent release schedule? It's a great question. I think the biggest thing for me, especially on this journey of 365 episodes in the year 2026, is just the frequency of being on the mic and being in a creative space. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be, the better you'll find your voice, you'll find your tone, your cadence is going to change over time. It's like anything. Riding a bike, first few times you probably were terrible at it. You probably skinned your knee and fell off, and it probably wasn't funny to watch because you're just awkward as possible, right? Riding a dirt bike. Okay, when my kids were younger, we as a family would take dirt bike road trips where we go and ride dirt bikes out in the forest, and we'd go and have a class with a course, and we'd have brand new bikes to ride, and then we have a trainer who would train us and then take us on for rides and trail rides. And I remember getting on this bike that was way too tall for me, and my foot got caught on the back of the bike. It's a brand new bike. And Dave fell right over and the bike landed on top of me. Great starting point, Dave, right? So when we're doing something new or something that's different, we're going to make a fool of ourselves at some points, in some cases, not really in podcasting, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things that are like, oh, I wish I never did that. That's the starting point. But the more you do something, when I rode that dirt bike, the rest of the day, I never fell over. I was fine. I got the training. I learned. I did everything properly. And I had an expert beside me who showed me the way and rode with me on the trail. I wasn't by myself. So you have people who pull out greatness from you when you surround yourself with people who are further down the path, who have done it longer, who have expertise that you don't have in the moment. We don't know what we don't know. So by being with somebody who helps you, that's a great starting point. But I think just the fact of creating content on a regular basis, you're going to see improvement over time. It's, again, why I'm not a huge fan of seasons. Now, if seasons are the only way that you can podcast, then fine, that's great. But I find that if you take a break from your audience is going to take a break from you. If you take a break from the mic, you're going to have to rework to get back to where you were when you stopped for your break. It's not going to just come, you're not going to start where you left off. There's going to be a little bit of slippage, a little bit of you reworking and getting back into the swing of things every time you take a break. So by being consistent, whether that's once a month, once a week, twice a week, 365 days straight, whatever your consistency is that works around your schedule, then be consistent that way. We talked again, your audience will build you into their routine if you show up on a regular basis, whatever that is for you. You don't have to podcast every week. You can do every second week. You can do once a month. Whatever works for you. You can do a short run podcast with 5 episodes, beginning, middle, end, stop. You can do whatever you want. This is your medium. It's your baby. You can do this whatever you want with your podcast. So don't feel bound by anybody's instructions or rules or guidelines or best practices. It's your show. Get feedback, grow as you wish. But the more you do this and the more you're in a creative space, the easier it's going to get. It's that whole 10,000 hours thing. By doing something on a regular basis, you're going to get better. So get out there, jump on that bike, pedal and pedal and pedal. You're going to fall less by doing this more. Get on that dirt bike, click it into gear, let's go. It's time to hit the trails. But get the training you need and get somebody in your corner who knows how to do what you want to do and you admire how they do what they do. If that's this show, awesome. If it's another show, great. But surround yourself with greatness and you will become great. That's how it works. And I hope I can help in some small way. Howtopodcast.ca. Take care. Thanks for being here. Bye.